Wow. This has really come full circle for me personally. To be up on this stage, to be on this stage with the greats, Jan and Rock, and guys like Shane Collins. Shane Collins, if you don't know, grew up in Bozeman, mentored me through high school and through college. So it's just the price of paying it forward as Montanans do. And it's pretty cool that now I'm on the stage that Shane was on last year. And to be up here is beyond an honor. Shan Schillinger, we went same class out of high school, went through East-West Shrine together, Mondac together, played against each other all through college, trained together for the NFL, both made it to the NFL. So talk about going just full circle. And then to finish it off before I kind of get into my paperwork here, I grew up walking down the streets of Bozeman, walked to Universal too many days. I grew up, my parents made me pay for half of my sports equipment, right? So I had to work hard for it, pay half for it. So a lot of baseball mitts, a lot of bats, all my equipment that got me to where I am today was through Universal. Larry Osheim, JD. It's pretty cool that you guys donated these for us, but half of me is also like, I kind of paid you for that. So, but thank you guys. To the board, Rick, all the other members, I know it's a team contribution to get us all wrangled up, and there's a lot more behind the scenes to get everybody up here and put this on. It's an unbelievable event, and thank you guys for putting this on for us. Okay, so I'll kind of dig in a little bit. I have to write this up, or else I'll lose track, and then heaven forbid for you guys. I'd like to set the stage with a disclaimer right now. If you know me, I'm a wild card. So whatever goes on, whatever is said during this speech, you might have to earmuff the kids. It might get there. And I also know that you guys want to hear a lot about the Tom Bradys, the Rob Gronkowskis, Bill Belichick's, and I'm going to touch on those, but tonight's my night, so let me have a little bit before then. All jokes aside, before I dive into those stories of playing everything, I want to pay respect where respect is due. My family is the reason I'm on this stage today. The sacrifices that my family has made for me personally to get here is beyond anything that I could ask for. And I'm not just talking about my mom, Kathy, and my dad, Bob, but my sister as well, Tana, who are all here tonight. Tana is the most unselfish person that you'll ever meet. She's been my best friend growing up. She made it to all my hockey games, all the events, and didn't complain once. And it's a team effort for me to be up here. That's the team behind me growing up that allowed me to set stage today. So thank you guys for putting up with me, one, but allowing me to be up here and making that sacrifice. My mom drove me to hockey practice all through middle school, all through high school, waking up at 4 in the morning. You know how miserable that must be to wake up at 4 in the morning to go sit in a hockey rink for the next couple hours before rushing me to school? I mean, miserable. So, Mom, thank you. My dad's taught me more than I could ever ask for in my life. A lot of people have heroes. A lot of kids look up to the greats, the Tom Bradys, everything like that. My dad was my hero. My dad, trying to hold it together a little bit. My dad was my hero. He was busy. He worked a lot of it. He worked hard. He went to work and he came home and he never complained once when I asked him to come out and throw a ball for me. Never once did he say, no, I'm too tired. And now with my two kids today, my two boys, Hawkins and Tuck, I 100% understand how tired he was, yet still getting off the couch to come play with me. Tonight I'm going to talk about my dark times. This isn't easy for me, and I've never really been public or told anybody about it. But I think this is the platform. I'm going to let everybody know. Just so then, if there's one person I can touch, I'm going to touch that one person tonight. I was raised in Bozeman on a farm with everything a kid could ask for. I had life handed to me as a kid. Zero reason to be unhappy, and I was happy 99% of the time. There's 1% of the time where I had demons, and I thought about the other side quite a bit. It's not easy to talk about. I never have talked about it. I'm pretty good at hiding it. As a kid, I'm 100% great right now. But before each high school game during the national anthem, I vividly remember saying a prayer during the national anthem and to take my life on this stage. I wanted to take my life on that platform for some reason. Understanding how much more there is to life beyond high school and what else there is out there. Now, I don't know why I ever had those thoughts, but I just want to put that out there that as a kid, you kind of forget that kids have life tough. It is hard to be a kid. There's a lot of bullying. There's a lot of things that kids are going through, and I want everybody to know that, you know, it happens, and without my support system that I had at my house, without having that internal love and gratitude with my parents and my family, who knows? I mean, you just don't know where you'd end up with those kind of demons that some kids fight. With that being said, we need more leaders. Men need to step up and help our youth more, to be the role models these kids look up to, as well as allow to vent and be a shoulder to lean on. Being around great leaders taught me a few things. Dreams can be a reality with two traits: a relentless amount of hard work and believing yourself more than anybody could ever fathom. Failure is something to be embraced instead of something to be afraid of. My dad taught me that. My dad failed. He failed. He failed. He failed in business. He failed in business. He failed in business. But it was never brought back to the house as a negative. Never once has it been negative. It's always been a positive in how he learned until he found the right business to set him up for success. I took that from him, and I failed, and I failed, and I failed until I found the right line of success for myself, whether that was going to the sports and the NFL or whether that's starting my own business today. And you're going to fail. It's just how can you get up? Bill Belichick is a great leader and a great role model in my life. Bill runs a tight program. And when I mean tight, I think we all know what tight means in the Bill Belichick world. He holds everybody accountable. He wasn't big on highlights. In fact, I don't know if he ever did have highlights in the New England organization. All there was lowlights. Correct, Spence?
That's right.
You wake up in the morning in the morning meeting, and it's lowlights, and nobody was safe. Respect was not given, and it was earned day in, day out throughout the NFL. And I always appreciated that about Bill because we're all on the same page. It doesn't matter if it's me, Spencer Larson, or Tom Brady. Nobody's safe come Monday meetings. 2010 training camp, Bill snickers to me during warm-ups. I'm stretching out. He comes up to me, and he loved the fact that I'm a small-town Montana guy, so he kind of always screwed with me. And he goes, "Probably the most you've ever played in front of in your entire career, huh, Fletch?" He wasn't wrong. He continued to ask me, there's 75 guys out here. It's a 53-man roster, 45 are going to be active. You know, what sets you apart? Why are you going to make the team? I said, well, Bill, it's a good question. I haven't thought a lot about that because I'm just working hard and trying to stretch out right now, so you could kind of leave me alone. But I said, well, Bill, I got two options. I was a Mason through high school, through college. 2 months after I built a rock wall, that rock wall fell down. My brother-in-law was my boss, so he can attest to that. I said, option number two, I grew up on a farm. You guys all, maybe not a lot of you guys are going to remember the Tamagotchis, right? The little Tamagotchi things. I had a Tamagotchi through when I was in elementary school. I had it for about a day, and everything died. So I said, the possibility of me keeping my parents' farm animals alive is zero to slim to none. So I said, Bill, bet your ass I'm going to make that 45. Bill kept it real with me, and I kept it real with Bill. After my rookie season, I was feeling pretty good about myself. Playoffs, created a pretty good niche for myself on special teams, good role leader on special teams, good niche on defense, came in, healthy career. I was feeling really good. Bill called me. I turned off my snowmobile because that was highly frowned upon at the time. calls me. What are you doing? I go, I'm training, Bill. What can I do, Bill? What can I do better for you? How can I come into the season as a starter, more of a role on defense? What can I do? I was, well, and this is where Bill really kept it real with me. He goes, well, Fletch, I'll tell you, you're stiffer than my dick out there in man coverage. I'd recommend you start yoga. I go, okay, Bill, you're 67 years old, still got a stiff dick? I'll start yoga tomorrow. I get a lot of questions regarding Gronk. I'll kind of nip that in the butt. We didn't have any fun at all. Living with him for 3.5 years was miserable. But in all honesty, we had a really tight niche in in New England. I was out in New York 3 weeks ago. About 20 of us all met up and golfed together. Gronk's there. Everybody's together. I don't talk to Gronk as much as we should. We're still great friends. But it was like yesterday. It was like living together. We call our house the Fook. And Gronk, the first thing he asks is, how's Bob? How's Kathy? How's Tana? How are your boys? By the way, Uncle G's coming to Bozeman. Can they get an extra large car bed for him? Would they be cool with that? Yeah, Gronk, we'll get you an extra large car bed in my kid's room. We haven't skipped a beat. We came in as rookies together. Between lining up against Gronkowski and Hernandez, if you weren't here last night, you got a little Hernandez story last night. A few cocktails deep. But my practice was miserable as a rookie. Let's just put it that way. You line up against those guys. Nonetheless, I would play defensive end through college, so you're asking me to play a middle linebacker in the NFL, and then I'm going to line up against possibly the two greatest tight ends of all time, and that was a challenge. I vividly remember, I get asked this a lot tonight and the last few days about what's your greatest memory, what do you really remember? You know, I remember breaking huddle as a rookie in training camp, turning around, lining up, and I break huddle and give the play call, and I look around and I said, okay, I'll just go down the line. I got my offensive linemen here. I got 2 Pro Bowlers, pretty solid. Starting with my left, I got Rob Gronkowski. He's all right. Aaron Hernandez seems all right. Quarterback's just a guy, Tom Brady. I got Kevin Falk at running back, and then I'm going to start out here, Randy Moss, Wes Welker, backed up by Julian Edelman, my ex-receiver. Who the hell knows about the ex? I didn't care at that point. I got a lot in front of me, and my life was tough that rookie year, and it made me really strong as a player, and I learned a lot, and there's a lot to learn. I remember we had a game against Miami as a East Division rivalry game against the Dolphins. Our fullback went down that week. I wish Spencer was there, but he was dinking off in Denver, I believe. Mm-hmm. So, we were in the locker room, and I go, Tommy, I could play fullback. Throw me in. And, when you ask for jokes or you kind of say jokes in the locker room, they just might come true. So you open your mouth, Dane, and it might just come true. So Tom goes up to Billy, he goes, throw Fletch in. I go, okay, yeah. So we practiced this one route, 3 times the week before, not thinking it'd ever actually come about. So I'm in fullback. I'm also starting at linebacker at the time, too, so I'm gassed. Play comes up. We practice this play maybe 3 times the week before. Offense is a whole new world to me. So many checks. I'm just trying to line up where I should be. So we get in the huddle and everything's good. Okay, Tom plays out the call, which is how long, Spencer? 10 minutes long, it seems like. And so I think I got an idea of the play, and then at that point, I thought that I was just supposed to block. And Tommy goes, Fletch, you ready for this? This is the play. This is the play, Tom? Okay. So I felt like this is the one moment I really felt like I was in Friday Night Lights. It's a night game, and boom. The huddle breaks. I line up. Okay. Right when I clap my hand, I look down. I got a club on my hand of a cast. At that moment, I said, why am I in this position, importantly, and why does Belichick trust me to be in this position in a tight game where I'm supposed to make this important catch? It's a tight post route. We're on the 4-yard line, and so play goes. I shoot through the goal line pretty good, untouched. hit my post route, ball goes up, ball gets tipped off my club, and that route was done about as quick as my masonry career. Yeah, and just like that, my offensive playing days were over, committed to defense, and that was all right with me. As amazing career as Tom is still having, he and I still connect, and we have a great friendship. He's one of the leaders that take pride in knowing the janitor just as well as his first-round draft pick, wide receiver. Playing 5 years with Tom, he's shown me a great path on how to do things the right way and treat others with respect. I'll wrap this up with a few things. Growing up here in Montana, playing Lions League football in Bozeman, playing Montana State were some of the best memories of my life. Yes, the Super Bowl and NFL memories were a great chapter, but teammates in the NFL envied the pride and support us Montanans have here. When those guys came in and visited me, it is contagious what this state contributes to the players and the people. Everybody gives around here, and it shows. And a good sense of me, I always wanted to move back here because everybody was jealous. We got a really good thing going on. I don't know any other state that has a Hall of Fame, and this is pretty special. Although I lived in other states, Montana was always my home. My wife, Dani, can you please stand up? Yeah, come on. There's my wife, Dani, and I only did that to embarrass her. This special state, though, Dani and I went to middle school together, high school together. We have 2 boys together. She puts up with me and my crazy ideas. I run on jet fuel, and to put up with me every day must be exhausting. Today I own businesses with some of my best friends that I grew up with. To own businesses with your best friends that you grow up with couldn't be more of a badass thing to do, and I'm fortunate for that as well. This is truly a special place, and I know that we all appreciate it. My very final thing I'd like to touch on: if you're a leader by example, but you do not speak up, I think today is the time to speak up. It's hard for me as a player. It's always hard for me. I was always the guy that would just get her done, tell me what to do, and I'll get it done. Later in my career, when I started my gym, I learned that I needed to speak up, and I learned that there's not enough voices of people that put in the work to speak up. Having kids has really taught me the important things in life and made me think a lot about life and what I want my kids to take pride in. It's not always about coming in first place. It's not always about being on the best team. Just like my dad taught me, it's about failing and learning, failing and learning, failing and learning. The great, not so great thing about playing with Bill Belichick and the Patriots is that you're going to get exposed, and you're going to get exposed for every play that you do. That place tested me until the point where you're going to fail, and then he wanted to see how you can react on that failure. I appreciate that as a player. I know that Spencer appreciated that as a player. Anybody here that was around that organization knew that man is going to break you, and it's not easy to play 5 years with the New England Patriots. My gym and I have a platform. It's an online platform. If you guys do know anybody that's ever gone through a tough time or anything like that, 100% send them to me personally. I'd like to set them up with online workouts. I would also like to meet with them and do Zoom calls if they're not in Bozeman, and I'd like to do that once a month and just check in on them and let them know that there's a constant support system for them, and let them know that there's people that care about them. So please do that. Please take advantage of that, and I'm always there. Thank you, everyone that is here tonight, and I really appreciate the honor of speaking to you all.